The N47 engine is notorious for time and chain problems. Luckily, my BMW hasn't got this fault just yet, and I think that's down to regular maintenance. But keeping this car on the road is getting tougher by the day. Parts are starting to fail one after another, and now we're dealing with not just one but two of the most common but not widely known faults with these engines. Because it's not just time and change you need to worry about. These engines also have a habit of cooling system failures. With so many plastic components under the bonnet, age and heat can take their toll. Pipes become brittle, crack and eventually fail. And that's exactly what's happened to my wife's BMW. Coolant loss and almost overheating. She broke down on the hard shoulder on the way back from a day out. Luckily she had the sense to stop and pull over when the lights come on the dash. So in this video we're diving into the issues, fixing what's broken and seeing how much life we can squeeze out of this N47 before it bites back. Tom, if you take the engine cover off so we can have a better look for him. That's it just pulls up and pulls out.
There you go.
So the pipe is this pipe here, comes in all the way from the top and goes in there, which looks pretty easy to get to there, doesn't it, Tom?
Not really, it's embedded in everything, isn't it? So it's just that plastic pipe there.
Yeah, that's it. So the plastic pipe is held in with 3 screws, not 2, and you can only see 2 there. But the problem you got is you got to take this off to get to that. It's stuck right in between the alternator and the oil filter. So what I have to do is take off all the inlet manifold, take off the wiring as much as we can, so this to come out to get to this pipe here. Hopefully we don't find anything nasty along the way.
We're bound to find something nasty. It's in our nature.
Because these are common to have a swirl flap fault where there's little butterfly valves in there. It's called swirl flaps. So that opens and closes the air inside and they block up with carbon.
Right, okay.
Alright. Very notorious from the block up. On the old engines, they used to break off and fall inside the engine.
Right, okay.
Alright, so you used to have a swirl flap to leak. You can't really do it on these, I don't think. But these are plastic instead of metal now, and they do break as well.
So we're going to have to see if we've got any leaking flaps in the engine.
Yeah, this car has done 120,000 miles nearly now, so it's getting on a bit. Hopefully we haven't got any of that issues. It looks pretty clean. I've maintained it as best I can. It depends on how the wife's been driving the car, basically. How well the car is underneath.
She's probably been absolutely thrashing it, back road bashing like no tomorrow. So.
Yeah, she's probably, well, I hope she hasn't been back road bashing. Right, Tom's in the car.
I am.
So what I wanted to do, Tom, is start him up.
Well, right now?
Yeah, put your foot on the brake.
You know we're on.
I'm trying to show you where it's leaking from. And it's leaking from there. Right on, turn him off, Tom.
Cool. Right, so before we start work on this car, we've obviously got to disconnect the battery. We're working on the electrical stuff in the front and we don't want to blow any fuses or even worse, blow ourselves up. So the battery's located in the boot. Boots are stupid, man. What's the point today? What's the point? Battery's located somewhere in the boot. I don't know. Where do you even put your shopping in there? Like, right, we'll come back once we clear this out and we've obviously disconnected the battery.
Being the wife's car, the boot is always full of shopping bags, coats and umbrellas. For some reason. It just makes working on the car even harder.
Why so many bags in it?
So because this is a touring, disconnecting the battery is slightly harder than the saloon version. You have to pop out some plastic clips dotted all around the driver's side panel. Once the clips are out, you just push on the side panel and it will pop off to reveal even more clips and 2 10mm plastic nuts. Once they are removed, there's a green fuel flap release, and then finally we can see the battery. Sadly, Tom's not with us now at the moment. He's had to go. So you're left with me, just like the old days. We're just going to crack on with it now. And we want to get to this water pipe. So we need to strip down all the top of the engine, taking out the manifold, disconnecting the alternator and all the wires and sensors that's in the way. We can disconnect this alternator wire first. That's why the battery's disconnected. So make sure you disconnect the battery before doing this. Because we want to take this out, we've got these T30 Torques to undo. We're basically moving everything to this side of the engine. It looks like the manifold is stuck down, probably due to the carbon build-up. There we go. Out. Now that the intake manifold is off, you can clearly see that extra bolt that you can't get to there. So this is the pipe we need to replace. There's quite a bit of carbon build-up in there. I'm going to try and clean as much of this as I can. So obviously with diesel engines, they recirculate a lot of the emissions back through, and then that's why you have all this carbon build-up. It's pretty bad, but I have seen a lot worse. So I want to clean all this up inside. I want to make sure these turn and they're not broken. So I'm going to disconnect it, because you can take this off. Let's have a look. Actually, I'll do it now. So if I undo this, disconnect this off, we can take this off. So all I've done is disconnect the motor, so I'm able to manually move these now to make sure they open and close. But they still work anyway. But we're still going to clean all this up. They're not broken, so that's a good thing. So we can clean all this up. So these are going to be okay to go again. They're not broken. And then we're going to give that a good clean inside as well, because there's a lot of carbon. That's going to take a lot of cleaning. See that? But before we tackle all this, I want to put this back on. So I want to put the new water pipe on, and we know that's done. And then we can start cleaning up and putting back. So these are an E8 for this. We've also got to disconnect this pipe as well. Now, that's all I'm doing is gently prying this out, very gently, not trying to damage anything, but there's no way I could get that out otherwise. And as most common failures, it's right down the side there, split. It's a hairline fracture in it, can you see it? And it's quite common from the split there. I'm just going to put a little bit of rubber grease on this rubber here. So I'm just going to fit the new one straight on, because otherwise I'm just going to lose coolant all over the floor. So I've just got my Uber with this end on. I don't want nothing to fall inside, and I'm just going to be scraping up all these bits. So I'm going to carry on with this now, and then I'll cut back in when it's done. I've cleaned it up as best I can. So it's looking a lot nicer. I can't get right inside, but I'm going to try and get some sort of additive or cleaner to go in, and I might have it cleaned out anyway. So now comes probably the hardest part, is getting this all back in. I was all cleaned as best I can get it. I haven't got a parts washer or nothing like that, so I've just cleaned it out as best I can. So it's come out pretty good. It all works now and everything moves. So at the end of the day, we come in here for a water leak, not all this, but I've done it anyway just to tidy it up and make sure it doesn't get blocked.
It looks like he's going to be potching with that for a while. So I just wanted to take a moment to thank each and every single one of our channel members for their continued support on our channel. Honestly guys, it means the world to us, and with your support, it makes our goal of going full-time possible. So thank you so much. Your names are coming up on the screen just to show a bit of recognition for your support. If you fancy becoming a member, click that join button down below to gain access to exclusive perks and other cool stuff. And yeah, thank you so much to everyone who is an existing member. Honestly, it means the world to us. I know I say it in every video, but it really does. So thank you so much.
To be honest, that went on better than what I thought it would. That's all in there. So all I got to do is tighten it all up and then reposition all the wires back in. So I'll do all that and then you can join me ready for when we put coolant in and get it running. So it's all back together. All the wires, plugs, everything's back in. The battery's back connected. The only thing I haven't done is add coolant to it, and then hopefully we can go for a start up and just check for some leaks. Hopefully it doesn't leak. But just cleaning out all that carbon inside is going to make a difference to the running of this engine. I'm just going to start the engine up now and then check for leaks. That sounded a bit ropey for the first start up, I got to be honest. It's the first time I've ever heard it sound like that. This is going to need some injector cleaner. I'm going to take it and have it cleaned out, I think, because it needs a good clean. Also, we've got to do the rocker cover next as well, so that's a big job. So I wanted to do this first, but my wife needs the car back as soon as for now, and then we're going to get it back in to do the rocker cover. It's going through nice there. Don't have to bleed it because I haven't drained the system totally. So that's good. It's running through there nice. So it looks like it's not leaking. There's another job ticked off that list.
This car is slowly becoming a pain in the ass to keep on the road. With so many common problems with these engines, it's no wonder it's always something wrong. I suppose if I had only replaced that broken water pipe, then all that carbon would have been blocked up in the swirl flaps and eventually they would have broke off into the engine. So perhaps BMW intentionally designed it that way so we could check the intake while replacing the pipe. Who knows? But for now, that's another common problem fixed and my wife has her beloved BMW back on the road. But it's going to need more work. It has another common problem, and that's a massive oil leak from the rocker cover, and the MOT is due to run out. So what else can this car spring on me? Also, look out because Tom is back as well.
Right, so before we start working on this car,